Welcome to Eyewitness Newsmakers. I'm John Bendick. Well, spring is here, but I have to get a plug in for winter. What a great winter it was. Cross-country skiing was the best in years. We skied all but 2 weekends, a lot of skiing during the week, but time to allow the snow to recede, disappear, put away those skis and stay in the outdoors, stay in the mountains, stay in the woods, and walk and hike. And if you're going to do that this spring, this summer, this fall, you got to get advice from the best. And he's here today. Lynne Whelden, longtime friend, premier hiker, expert in light backpacking. He does it all. And we got a lot to talk about. If you're going to get involved in the outdoors this year, stay with us on Eyewitness Newsmakers. We will be right back. Welcome back to Eyewitness Newsmakers. I'm John Bendick, and my guest today, Lynne Whelden. Lynne, just what does Lynne know about backpacking and hiking? I'll tell you what. Let's look at some of the tapes, the features that he has produced in all the years he's been involved in that. First of all, he did hike the Appalachian Trail, right?
In 1992.
Look at that. And how long is that?
That's 2,100 miles.
Okay, he did it. There's a tape, the documentary. The Pacific Crest Trail. That stretches what, from California to Canada?
Yeah, Mexican border to Canadian border.
How long is that?
That's 2,700 miles.
And that took you all summer, right?
No, actually, I did that in less time than the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, okay. The Continental Divide Trail.
I haven't done that one yet.
Oh, okay, you made it. We'll talk about it yet. Another videotape, 27 Days.
That's a documentary of 4 retired people in their 60s who hiked the Long Trail in Vermont, which is a 270-mile trail, border to border, northern to southern trail.
Wow, and all these videotapes, a lot of how-to tapes. Here's one on lightweight backpacking secrets revealed, and this is what you specialize in, right?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I didn't discover lightweight backpacking techniques until I had already hiked the Appalachian Trail. I suffered some major pain doing that trail, and while I was hiking the Appalachian Trail, I came across this guy by the name of Wolf. Now, as people may know, when people hike the trail, they often take on a different identity. They take on a different name. Well, this guy, his thing was a light backpack. He was hiking with a pack that weighed about 10 pounds. And he was real mysterious. He wasn't willing to tell me how he did it, which at the time I was frustrated and angry. But what it did is it started making me think for myself, how on earth could you lighten up your load? And it took me 5 years to discover the secrets, but as a result, I produced that video.
Now, all these videos can be found on your website, right?
Right.
And if we could take a look at that, and also you're into producing your own hiking gear.
Right.
You know, and this is light backpacking, what we've been talking about.
Right, lwgear.com, LW standing for lightweight or Lynne Whelden. Mm-hmm. Imagine that.
You've done it all, so I mean the advice has got to be the best. And you know, we still see the hikers out there with the the big backpacks on, the big heavy boots, trudging along. And here, even your shoes, and I always bring this up, I know we run a lot together, and it's like running shoes.
Exactly. These are trail running shoes, basically just kind of beefed up running shoes. Mm-hmm. And they're so much lighter on your feet. I mean, you're talking ounces as opposed to the traditional shoes that are considered for backpacking, which most people would think would be leather, some sort of leather shoe that maybe is ankle high and weighs 2 or 3 pounds. And when you start adding up the amount of weight that you're picking up on a step-by-step basis, it's no wonder your body feels as bad as it does at the end of a day.
And it turns you off from doing any more
Exactly.
hiking or getting involved. And it always was a fear of, well, my feet get wet. But your feet are going to get wet.
Yeah,
right?
in fact,
your
feet, my feet are wet right now. I mean, through the course of a day, our bodies, well, let me put it this way. At night, when we're just laying still, our bodies emit about 1 quart of water in the form of sweat. During the day, that jumps up to several quarts. And so no matter what you put your feet inside, whether it's leather shoes or fabric shoes or whatever, it's literally in a sauna, and your socks are doing their best to dissipate the evaporation. And what happens in a hike is it's just that it's multiplied several times so that your feet are going to become wet. So it's like just resign yourself to the fact that things are going to get wet, so that when you're walking through covered grass in the morning and your feet get wet, don't worry about it. It's going to dry out. If you're caught in a rainstorm, don't sink your money into Gore-Tex lined boots that just run up the bill. Just be comfortable with the fact that you're going to be wet.
Yeah, and the feet are the most important thing when you're out there.
Yeah, that's sure.
They're even going to get tired even with the best light footwear you have. And also avoid cotton whenever possible, right?
Right. That's another rule of lightweight backpacking. The problem with cotton is it feels wonderful on you. It's probably everybody's got cotton at home, so that's most likely what they're going to wear. The problem is when it gets wet, it takes forever to dry. I mean, it takes literally days to dry when you're out in the woods. And if you're camping out and the next morning you got to put that wet T-shirt back on, I don't know if there's a worse feeling than putting a smelly, wet, cold T-shirt on coming out of a warm sleeping bag.
Or hiking next to someone who's wearing a wet, smelling T-shirt. But I know I talked about skiing before. There's a lot of winter sports, but a lot of people just don't care for winter that much. I know you and I really enjoy it, but I still don't understand why more people don't get involved. In particular in northeastern and north central Pennsylvania, where, wow, the mountains are just fantastic. You put a list together of 10 reasons why you should walk in the woods. I know if we could, by Lynne Whelden, you're the author, talk about that.
Okay.
We're looking at number...
Do we have a drum roll here? I guess not.
No.
But,
this is number 10.
Number 10, it's free. I mean, it's a sport that literally costs nothing. I don't even want to label it as a sport. It's just so natural. Our bodies are simply built to walk. And in the computer age, where we have to sit in front of a computer and do all our things, it's becoming a rare occurrence to see people walking very much. And so why not get into a sport that you can literally just close up shop, turn off your computer, walk out the door, and you're doing it.
Unplug yourself.
Unplug yourself and get into the wild.
Yeah, you don't have no admission fee for any Pennsylvania's woods. You just go up there.
That's right.
Number 9.
Number 9. What does it say? It doesn't stress your body. I put this down because I love jogging. I jog every day, but I have to be honest with myself and say that jogging stresses my knees. I mean, that you're putting a lot of shock on it's basically bone pounding against bone, and you have to try to compensate by buying new running shoes as often as you can, getting insoles made of shock absorbing material. So walking is just the least stressful way to get in shape.
Okay, number 8.
Number 8, you see the world at the speed it was meant to be seen.
Oh, that's interesting. You're getting a little philosophically heavy here, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's face it. We drive every place we go.
True.
And we're going 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. The freeway situation, I mean, you're just blazing by the countryside. It's a totally different feeling when you're out there hiking at 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. It's slow enough that you can observe, you can take in the smells, you can take in the sounds, you get into the rhythm of the nature and the life you're passing through. It's a totally new experience, and if you're looking for new experiences, get out and walk in the woods.
And that's all we're talking about, is just Walking, right? Number 7.
Number 7, it relieves stress. Now, you know, we're a drug-oriented, pill-popping nation. Valium is probably one of the most prescribed drugs around. Walking accomplishes the same thing. You get out there, you're not only burning up calories, but you're burning up all those noxious hormones that accumulate during stress. I think it's important to realize that you've got to spend a fair chunk of time walking in order to accomplish this. I mean, don't expect to just go out there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I mean, I don't want to discourage you from doing it that short, but it's like if you really want to get that stress relieving effect, get out there for at least a half an hour to an hour.
Okay, we're at number 6.
Number 6, it can be a spiritual experience. Now again, I emphasize the word can. I've been on 2 long distance hikes, the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. On the AT, I was out for about 5 months, and there was only one time during that hike where I was just in the frame of mind where I was pondering God, I was pondering the creation, God's creation around me, and it literally just brought me to tears. It only lasted about 10 minutes, but it was just one of those intense feelings that I'll never forget. That happened about 6 weeks into my hike. On the Pacific Crest Trail, same sort of thing happened. It was just one of these days where we were coming out of the desert. We were starting to walk into the Sierra Nevada, the snow-covered granite, 10,000-foot peaks. The sun was shining, sky was blue. I was coming over a crest of a hill, and I literally felt like I was walking hand in hand with God. God wasn't some mystical person out there or some old man with a beard on a throne or something. He was my friend. He was right there. And again, I was just reduced to tears. And these are experiences that you can't manufacture. You can't pre-program. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it can happen.
You know, I know in one of your videos, Doc on the Sock, where you went on a trail with a physician, and he experienced the same thing, if I remember the documentary, and that was here in Pennsylvania on the Loyal Sock Trail in north central Pennsylvania, where when you're out there and you know this, the only thing you hear is that heart beating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how quiet it is. Okay, number 5.
Number 5, you'll discover muscles you never knew you had.
And how sore they can get.
If you've seen pictures of people who have hiked the Appalachian Trail, and they're usually in a victory posture on the top of Mount Katahdin, one thing you notice is their legs and the muscles in their legs. I mean, they've got the legs of an Olympian, men and women both. And I think for some people, it's a real revelation to realize, you know, that there's more to your upper thigh than just this kind of rounded mass. You'll actually start to see definition. So the same thing can happen in your upper body if you carry weights. In my situation, what I like to do is carry a canteen full of water when I'm backpacking. That way to exercise the upper body.
Okay, moving along to our next reason why you should walk.
Number 4. It's a great way to meet people. You know, I mean, here you are out in the woods. I'm usually hiking alone. So after a day or two of not seeing somebody, when somebody does come along, you're going to be much more sociable, and also there's a lot less suspicion. You know, I mean, you know how on the streets of any city, you just kind of learn to avoid eye contact. You don't, you know, pretend to be very interested in the other person. Out in the woods, it's totally different. You're interested in the other person. You've got something in common. You've gone through the same experiences. I've a lot of great friendships come out of just walking and encountering people on your walks.
You know, sometimes when you like to be alone and you're on a mountain, it's happened to me before, and in the middle of nowhere you hear, "Hey, Bendick." Okay, number 3.
World.
Number 3.
Number 3, it may inspire you to take up backpacking. You know, I mean, I kind of want to break it into 2 different things. Right. I mean, walking is so simple. Backpacking gets kind of technical. we may have some time today to get into a little bit of the
And if
techniques.
not, all your videos on your website, I'm sure.
That's
They're
right.
Great starter tools. So, number 2.
Number 2, it's not popular.
It's not popular.
It's not something that people. It's not a sexy sport. Walkers aren't held up as heroes in the mass media. I've always personally been drawn to things, movies, books, whatever that aren't appealing to the vast majority of people, and I guess that's another reason why I've latched on to walking.
Yeah, you would think you would see more people out there, but for some reason, and again, and I say you still see the heavy backpacks and the big shoes and not the lightweight. We'd like to get into that if we can, but let's go. This is it. The reasons why you should walk. Number 1.
If you get good at it, maybe next year you'll be invited to Newsmakers to talk about walking.
Okay, all right. All right, Lynne Whelden's my guest, and I guess are we gonna take a break about now? I think we will, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Eyewitness Newsmakers. I'm John Bendick, and Lynne Whelden is my guest. We gave you all the reasons why you should walk, and one of those reasons is it will get you interested in light backpacking. We talked about the light footwear, avoid cotton, keep nice and light. Now we're going to get into quickly some of the gear you should have once you get into it and go on those day-long hikes or maybe a weekend or even longer in the area. What are you holding?
Well, for starters, the pack. This is one of the first mistakes people make is they go out and they'll buy a standard backpack that weighs at a minimum 5 pounds, 6, 7, as much as 8 or 9 pounds. I started my quest towards lightweight nirvana by making my own pack that weighs less than 1 pound. It's not difficult to do. We don't have time to go into it here, but basically it's just a mesh fabric, a lightweight nylon on the back. There's a number of them available on the market now, and you'll also find this one on my website. This is called the 1 pound pack.
That's all it weighs, 16 ounce.
1 pound,
Wow.
and really the secret of it is there's no metal in it. There's no metal frame. The classic internal pack has some sort of a aluminum stay inside it to keep its shape. The external frame pack also has a lot of aluminum. This one has no frame at all. So actually, what the frame consists of is the foam pad, the closed cell foam pad. This is what you would sleep on.
Right down.
You always have to sleep on something. People who are just starting out and think, well, I'm just going to put my sleeping bag on the ground. They learn the hard way that the ground just sucks up your heat. You're going to have a cold night. So you always have to have some kind of insulation. And this is called a Z-Rest pad, and I simply stick it inside the pack and then pack all my other gear up against that. Again, just kind of sticking with the basics, before you set your pad down on the ground, this is a piece of Tyvek, just ordinary house wrap, and I call it a ground cloth. It's basically just a piece of cloth to keep you from getting dirty, getting money rolling around in the dirt. It keeps the ants off you and that kind of thing.
And all this was in a light backpack, and it weighed. It was nothing to it,
I mean,
so
you're talking, 5 ounces for the piece of Tyvek. This is my sleeping blanket. Again, homemade.
Not a sleeping.
Not a sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag.
A sleeping blanket. It's basically just a very narrow blanket with some insulation inside and a nylon shell. I guess one of the things the points I'm trying to get across is that you can make a lot of your own gear and save a lot of money in the process, have a lot of fun doing it. But again, all these sort of things are available on my website.
And again, it's so lightweight, and all of it was in the pack, and it felt like it weighed nothing. So.
Yeah, that's about 1 pound right there. Now that's not a cold weather bag. That would be rated down to maybe 40 degrees or so.
Well, you're hiking
which
in
is
midsummer or something like that.
Yeah,
It'd be perfect.
yeah.
And all of this is on your website too.
All of it
right?
on the
See
website.
that. Great.
This if I could cause people to be curious about one thing in particular, it's the notion of a shelter. This is a tarp. A tarp is simply, in this case, an 8 by 10 foot square of nylon that's coated with silicone. So it's a very lightweight nylon with a waterproof coating on it, and you just to set it up, you just run a string between 2 trees. On the East Coast, you can find trees everywhere. When you're doing West Coast hiking, it might be a little more challenging to try to find a place to set up a tarp, but it can be done with sticks or hiking poles or whatever. But a tarp makes for a wonderful shelter. It's very airy. You don't have condensation problems, things like that. So
some advice the first time you're out there, like say all the hiking trails in north central Pennsylvania. Stick to a 1 day hike first and see how it is. And
yeah.
Work it out.
That's why I think it's to get into walking first. Get so you enjoy walking, and then maybe work yourself up to an overnight close by home. I say that because for people that are just starting out, if they have a bad experience, if a thunderstorm rolls through and everything gets soaked or something, they aren't so far away that they just can't straggle back to the car and get home and lick their wounds. But just go for an overnight, and then maybe work up to a weekend, and then eventually you might be curious about trying a 5-day, 7-day hike or whatever.
Hey, Bendick.
Oh no.
Hey, Bendick. Hey, Lynn.
Hold on here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're still on a program.
we're still on television.
Do we get everything in here or what?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Newsmakers to be hosted by my dear friend John Bendick.
Have you heard from the governor?
After the governor a commutation, 32 years
Right.
of working for WBRE, and John is retiring. And John, we just want to say, and Lynn is one of his longest friends, how much more appropriate could it be to have you here with John for this last edition of Newsmakers?
I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm glad.
And here's your replacement.
I know. This is great. Here's my
He's
replacement.
been my mentor and friend for many, many years,
Yeah,
and
and-
I'm going to miss you
I
terribly.
know. Jayne has
And-
been on the program, for the last couple of years, right? And hosting your own program. And she is the heir apparent. I don't know if that's good for her.
That's
but
good.
we're gonna
That's
welcome
good.
You're just going to have to bring smaller boots and tents for Jayne the next time that we do this.
But Keith, Lynn and I go back, I don't know how many years.
20 years.
Most of that 32. for
Most
a
of
good
it,
chance.
32, so it's great. And even Keith has been on a few programs too. Very few. We try to limit his appearances.
We didn't want to hurt the quality and the image of the program that John has worked so hard to build up over all these years.
That's true. That's true.
And it's very appropriate as a soon-to-be retiree. You're seated in the comfort of his chair here on the Newsmakers set.
And our director, Sandy, had asked that you come back and do a special program called The State of Retirement.
The state of retirement. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Yeah,
My
but John-
retirement will be short-lived.
John puts on my desk, ladies and gentlemen, copies of Modern Maturity magazine for me to read because I'm very
37
close
copies.
37 copies of Modern Maturity. It's been a great ride, my friend.
No, it's been a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
So, what,
Really
so what are
have,
you going to do in your retirement? Go hiking?
Well, I'm going to be hiking, cross-country skiing, canoeing, fishing, all that
There
stuff.
it is,
you know.
right.
I want to present you with a video, my
That's the
lightweight backpacking video.
First thing he's ever given me in all those years,
You've seen history here this
This
morning.
is great.
That's what
Again,
retirement's all about, is lightening your load.
no, we do have Lynn on the program quite a few times, and I'll tell you, there's a reason. The programs we do, we get more feedback.
Response. That's
response
absolutely right.
That's great.
When Lynn is on this program, I mean, and I think that's a tribute to you, and I appreciate
Well, that's
that,
why we call it Newsmakers.
That's why we call it
That's absolutely
Newsmakers.
right. Now, by the way, John and I for years talked about opening a combination Bait Shop and Financial Services Center. I think we're going to be limited to the bait shop at
think
this
so,
point. The
the way
financial
things
services,
are
well, we're
going.
done. We're done for. You see us in line selling apples and pencils, you'll know why.
Yeah, and I do want to say I'm so glad that Jayne Bugda has agreed to take over the program.
Thank you for
I know
asking.
when I announced, I said I need a replacement. The newsroom emptied. Everybody scurried for cover, and Jayne could not get out the door fast enough. No, but she is good. She's bright. She's our senior producer
absolutely.
at WBRE TV, and that is a title that
Now,
does not come.
Are you
lightly.
going to give her the sport jacket, the famous sport jacket
No, you
you've
know,
worn?
I was going to bring that in.
Same sport jacket for 32 years, ladies and gentlemen.
But as I was carrying it in, it did, the arm did fall. It finally fell apart, so I couldn't give it to her. But no, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking over.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the work and everyone here that you've been our mentor
Well,
and
thank
good
you.
friend.
Okay, and
He has been a reporter, he has been a producer, he has been an interviewer, he has been the assignment editor, assistant news director, acting everything.
Thank
bon vivant.
Bon vivant, man about town.
You name it, I've
But
met it.
most of all, a consummate professional and a dear, dear friend. And my friend, we're going to miss you. Come on in and see us, see the old gang.
I will.
Hike on
Don't
over.
forget.
That's
Okay,
right.
very good. And again, I guess I could say for the last time, thank you for watching Eyewitness Newsmakers. It's been a nice ride.